Okay, so before we even start the video, I am genuinely so upset about these flowers. Like, I thought they would look good. I really, really did. I thought they would look good together, but they don't. And now I have to go about finding a different combination of flowers to use. I'm so upset. I can't. You know what? Let's just do the intro. Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Kari. Before we start on this video, I apologize for the quality of my voice. I have caught COVID. I've caught COVID. It's an inconvenience, definitely. But I'm back. Hi, hello. Okay. Welcome back to my channel. We're here on Aelaena again and getting ready to do our first island build. Now saying that, let me introduce you to my castle core themed island. I didn't want to do a traditional castle island. I want to do something more, I guess, touristy. I want you to explore this island and think of a European town, you know, like Tuscany, somewhere in Italy, somewhere over in Europe. Just something mysterious and hidden away with, some hiking trails and some gorgeous views and maybe a secret or two. I don't know. At least that's what I hope to accomplish. And my lovely little resident rep Cressy is the tour guide that lives on the island. I think I'll do one more character to be like a little owner of a villa or something where dream address visitors can stay. Please note my air quotes when I say stay. I'm actually so excited to finally be starting this island and doing these builds because I've had ideas for this island for, actually, I don't remember. Let me check the Pinterest board real quick. A year. I've been wanting to do this island theme for a year. And I do think this is the theme I've been wanting to do for the longest time. Okay, actually no, there's another theme that's been on the roster for 3 years, but that's a thing for a different time, and we'll get on that later. Right now, we're gonna start with the entrance build. Hey, so sorry for, going off track a little, but I just looked up as I'm doing my voiceover and there's a spider right above my computer setup. He's not like huge, but he's also not a small spider either. And I'm just like, buddy, you could have chosen any other place to camp and you chose right up there. Please, please go away. I'm begging you. Okay, so now that, I built my little cliff situation and I put the incline, I'm gonna go ahead and time travel a day forward and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back after, time traveling, and I have to say, even though this is only a small little thing that I did, I really, really like it. I really like it a lot. I think this will be perfect for the perspective build I have planned. So with that, on with the build. Right now, I am quite literally burying my plaza in cliffs. The plan is to, with most of the buildings, is to cover them up and hide them in cliffs and castle pieces. The museum not included. One, because I like visiting the museum, and two, I haven't donated all, the critters and the art yet. So I don't want to, potentially bury it in cliffs so I can, keep on donating to the museum. Otherwise, I want the whole island to look as old and magical as possible. So this was the only way I thought I could do it. I'm going to be just literally completely hiding the plaza by encapsulating it in cliffs and lining the outside with castle walls, some towers, a gate, the whole shebang. The way to enter into the plaza, because obviously it'll be surrounded by cliffs, you can't get in there, is by putting in the, the Mario pipes and entering that way. I didn't mean to bury you down there. Sorry! On this topic, I just want to say I won't be as extreme with hiding the other buildings, and they will absolutely be more easily accessible than this one will be. Not that you can go in them. I keep forgetting you can't enter buildings when you're in dream addresses, and it throws me off every single time. In preparation for the build, I literally was money tree farming because castle pieces are so expensive. I wasn't aware how expensive the castle pieces are. And alas, I have spent well over, a million bells getting all these castle pieces. I might literally have to just keep money tree farming for a hot minute. Like, my poor bank account. Serious dent. Goodness gracious. Okay, so bad idea. Actually looking at this build, I'm not even going to show you because I am that disappointed in it. I don't like it at all. I have another idea. It's going to require me to tear everything down and rebuild it. But I'm going to do that and test that out, see how I feel about it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I think my plaza might be too close to my airport entrance to pull off what I'm trying to pull off. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'm gonna go ahead and still try the idea that I had, which was to build the cliff separately so you can still enter the plaza and then round off the corners of the cliff. Maybe make it seem like some sort of like mountain area that you can enter in through a gate. I'm not sure if it makes sense what I'm trying to say, so I'll just show you what I mean. Okay, so put a cliff here. Yep. And here. And then let's make sure I get the spacing right. Space. And a space. And then okay. Yeah, I'm not sure this is gonna work. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try and we're gonna see. This is good. Alright, right. Yep, there we go. Just like that. Okay. Okay, let me just and still enter the plaza. Alright. I also deconstructed the little cliff area I had over here. I think it was too close to the airport. So I think after I'm done building this, I will then reconstruct the little cliff area farther away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, do this, be right back. Doing this second rendition of this specific build definitely took a little bit of guesswork because the first idea was very clear cut. It was just plaza surrounded by cliffs. This one required more thought put into it because it had to look natural and it had to be able to fit the castle pieces on top because we weren't putting them on the bottom, just on the top now. It definitely took a little bit of finessing and I kind of struggled. I struggle with this whole video actually because this is my first time doing this sort of video, doing a build on camera, and it definitely threw me for a loop in a good way, but it threw me for a loop, and I just didn't know what I was supposed to do, didn't know what I needed to do. I just had to go with the flow and figure it out as I went along. I have to say though, the final product, like actually figuring this out as I went along, I really liked that process. It wasn't too difficult, but it also wasn't too easy either, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. I think definitely if I had to do something like this again, I would absolutely would, and it would be super fun to do. I just want to say I do apologize in advance for how disjointed and nonsensical my voiceover is. I apologize later on in the video, but it's just very difficult doing voiceovers. So again, apologies. And back to the video. Flick, Flick, I love you because you give me lots of money for buds, but please, get out of the way. Please. You know, because this is my first time, doing a voiceover for an Animal Crossing video, I don't know what to talk about. It's kind of hard sitting here and, talking over what you're doing. And it's not that I don't want to talk and I don't want to talk to you guys, but it's just very hard. It's very hard to kind of sit here and figure these things out. And then, I try to, interject, and I try to do voiceovers while I'm playing the game as well. It's just hard to concentrate and talk while you're playing the game as well. I have attention issues, so that's mostly on me. But hopefully, as I do more videos, I will get better at the whole talking over the videos voiceover thing. And, hopefully I won't be sick the next time I make one of these. Although I might be, because I'm having to cram a lot of content into a few days. Because actually I'm leaving. I'm leaving in a week. Well, by the time you see this video, it'll be Wednesday. So I'm leaving in 5 days. That's still a week. Yeah, no. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm leaving in 3 days. I'm leaving in 3 days to go visit family for Christmas. And I have so much to do. Oh my gosh. I have to clean the house before I leave. Gotta make sure, the fridge is cleaned out. Trash, recycling, making sure everything's packed, ready to go. And, I have a son, as you guys are well aware. And I have to make sure his stuff is ready, packed and ready to go. And it's just a lot of work. I never really thought about it when I was little and I was a kid, but kudos to all the parents, my mom specifically too, for being able to go on long vacations, long trips, and making sure they still have all their kids' stuff at the beginning and by the end. And still going off topic, I was thinking about maybe doing bi-weekly dream address tours, or maybe playing an additional game every week, or maybe switching between the two. I'm not quite sure, and again, I'm a flip-flopper, so I will absolutely change my mind several times over the next few weeks as I build my island, because I like both options. I like playing other games besides Animal Crossing, but I also like doing dream address tours. So it's really hard for me to pick and choose between two options that I really enjoy doing. Listen. I'll eventually make up my mind and come to a decision. I pinky promise. It just won't be right now. That's it. Okay, looking at this now, I think aside from some minor, finicking I need to do with it, I like it a lot better than the original build. It looks a lot better, and I feel like it gives more of a grand presence instead of just being encapsulated by the cliffs. And I think how it's elevated as well gives it a lot more grandeur, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go rebuild the little, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I'm gonna rebuild the little cliff area for the perspective build I'm doing, and then we're gonna come back and work on my mortal enemy, waterscaping. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, I've finished rebuilding my plaza, and I finished rebuilding my little cliff area for my forced perspective build, and I'm happy to say that I'm actually super duper happy with how that turned out. I like how it's not symmetrical, and it just gives a little bit more depth to it. I do really like it. I think it makes it look more interesting to look at. And obviously my little cliff is done over here as well. Ideally, the little spot for the forest perspective build will be right here, and you can see it. Hopefully in tripod mode. But we will see how this goes. But before we even get to that, it is now time for the dreaded waterscaping. It's not that I actually hate waterscaping, however, I find it very difficult to make natural looking water features. You know? However, I will be giving it my best shot. Although I don't think my best shot was really that good. I had to keep, building up my cliffs in order to get the shape of the river that I wanted while I was doing this. And it was just like, please, I want to stop building cliffs at this point. Let me stop. I beg. But for this little, cliff entrance area, I'm going to be attempting to make a river that, connects to the cliff and then kind of connects to the river mouth, and that goes around the cliff and kind of curves around it and hugs it, so I can put a bridge over there and then leave enough room for me to have a little river taper off over to the left. That's for a different build, which will probably be after this video. So hopefully you'll see that soon. And like I said, I'm not very good at waterscaping, mostly because I haven't done a lot of waterscaping, but I did see some advice somewhere. I don't remember who it was from or where it was from, but it's really good advice that I try to keep in mind while I'm waterscaping. And it's, you never end waterfalls at the bottom of a cliff, and you never start waterfalls at the top of a cliff. So basically that just means you always have a pond or a river or a lake connecting waterfalls to different places. And then don't try to make your rivers and your ponds perfectly round or straight or symmetrical. Add variety, add divots, add kinks, add curls. Make it look interesting, because if we all know the same thing, which is nature in real life, rivers in real life are interesting. They have kinks and curls and divots, and if we're trying to, emulate that, we must copy it. Now I'm going to deviate a little bit here. It's still going to be Animal Crossing related, but I'm deviating here just a little bit. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I was super salty about those flowers. I spent 3 in-game months breeding those flowers just so I could see how they look together. And I finally saw how they look together, And I don't know if it was just the coloration of my computer, or it just looked wonky, or it looked funny. I don't know. I really don't. But I did not like the color combination of the flowers. I didn't. I really, really did not. It just, it made me feel so odd. Like, I honestly thought I would like it because I like darker colors, but I still like pink. And I absolutely wanted to go for a more moody color palette for this island. But as soon as I saw those flowers together, I was just like, okay, no, we're scrapping it. I'm going for a lighter color palette. But yeah, no, I'm super salty about those flowers. And this is nothing against the original creator of the flower mix. Like I said, Wolfie of Westwood. I love their flower mixes because they're just so interesting and unique. This one just wasn't for me. Yeah, this one just was not for me. And I fully admit that. Obviously, I've learned my lesson, and I will absolutely do better next time. And now we're left with the river to nowhere. Okay, so I realized as I'm watching this that I actually had my mic muted while I was doing this part. This is just me explaining that I did the river, the bridge is made, and now that the river is done and the bridge is made, I can finally get around to decorating, which I'm not going to do on camera. I'm just going to show you the after results because this video is already running pretty long and I'm trying to cut it down as much as possible. I really don't want it to exceed, 30 minutes. I feel like that's just a little bit too long. But other than length concerns for the video, let's get on to the next part, which is me showing you guys the path codes I decided to use. I've already chosen my path codes, so I'm just going to give you a little overview of them right here. I just have a little white flower code, some pink mushrooms, a pink mushroom circle, a white flower dirt path with some extra optional middle options, and another flower dirt path just to place around everywhere. I wanted to keep this pretty minimal because I just wanted the main focus to be on the buildings and the structures that I'm going to be creating, not necessarily the paths or the flowers. Okay, so here is what I've gotten done so far. You'll see a more in-depth view after I'm done decorating the top of the castle cliffs as well, but here we go. This is what I have. Right now I'm just doing some final decorating, adding just a couple of extra pieces here and there on the bottom half before I head up to the second half. I realized as I was decorating that the darker bronze coppery colors that I initially wanted to use were just too dark for all the bright light colors I was going for. So I went and had, Cyrus recolor, the lamp post and the iron garden chair and, the lanterns and the candles, just to make sure everything was more cohesive and worked a little bit better. The point of this little, river bridge area is to connect to, a secondary build that I'm going to be making, and then also to connect to the hiking, trail area. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work or mesh yet, but I'm hoping, with time and practice and patience, I will figure it out, I will get there, and it's going to look great. At least I hope so. I really want it to look good. I really do. Because obviously this is my first time doing something as big as this, and like I said, I have some pretty high expectations for myself. Man, I think maybe I need to tone it down a little, maybe. Coming back to the flowers I'm using, I'm going to only be using white mums, green mums, pink mums, and pink hyacinths. And for the bushes, I'll be using unflowered camellia bushes for some extra greenery. Out of all the bushes, I like that shape the most for the concept I'm going for. The little round leaves are just very cute to me. And, while I'm sitting here, doing some extra decorating, let me tell you about my plan. I don't have a plan. I am just in the deep end and making stuff up as I go along. All I got for you are castle pieces and pastels.
Pastels?
I love the Addams family, so sue me. Morticia Addams is who I aim to be when I grow up. I love her. And with that, we have finally come to the end of the entrance build. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video and listening to me yap while I do it. We're going to cut to the outro scenes so you can get a good overview of everything that I did. As usual, I'll catch you on camera. Bye-bye! I just realized that I didn't use any green mums to decorate, even though I spent like 2 weeks breeding these things. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go fix that. Alright, jeez.